Hello everyone out there on YouTube, this is me, King3, or Blame Others. I'll just start saying Blame Others, I think. But yay, we're back, and we're here with some more news about the realm, and maybe some other concept stuff, just to kind of help fill out the video. With me today we have...
Insane Spyro.
Yay, Mixpo. And maybe Nuki if she wants to pop in from...
And I'm Nuki.
Yep.
I'm a gamer and part-time artist.
So, just be a quick little video. So if you guys don't know, and I'll probably link his channel, there's someone in the realm community named Baggins TV. He is like the biggest like realm person that we have right now in the community. And again, for those of you who might be new to realm, or for even I hear echoes.
Yeah, Nuki, go on, push to talk.
Where was I? Oh yeah. Okay, so like I was saying, Baggins is the most well-known community, and for those of you who are new to the community, or even people who are there or who are here from a while ago, if you don't know, Realm has been in an update drought for a while. They just this week, at time recording this week, had released the new patch that we had been waiting for. Was it Deviled 30? What was it? A Deviled Egg update, something like that. Either way, that's not the point. The point is that, okay, so they released some new abilities, cool. They did some balance changes, cool. And they did map tweaks. We haven't been paying too much attention to the map tweaks, but hopefully there's someone out there who's maybe like keeping track of all the little changes. The only one we noticed was the tower in Crossing that they added in so that you can't like sneak in from the side anymore.
And Outpost. We went to Outpost.
Oh yeah, but the Outpost update, but they made a big deal of mentioning that, so hopefully you know that. But again, coming back to Baggins, he went out and said, that he doesn't feel like Realm is in a really good place even after the update right now, even though he is happy about the update with what it has, with again additions, the changes to the crown, changes to crowns and the store and everything. That's all really good. But just to really point out what he said, one of the biggest issues that Realm has had for the longest time, and which we have made, actually we mentioned in both of the videos that we've made, right, Sparrow, the hunter.
Yeah, the double trap. Yeah.
So, and that's what we call the double trap, being how would I say it? Basically.
If you run the Trapper ability, there is a bug with the Hunter's Trapper ability where it will lock you in place 2 times in a row rather than just the initial once.
Yeah. So, because of that, it was very frustrating to fight hunters who were running it. I think there was for some people, like there was a silent agreement to not run the trap because it was a bug. It was not intended, and then eventually, or at least with this update, it was obviously very much confirmed that it was not meant to be that way. However, unfortunately, again, we didn't see many hunters, at least not many hunters who happened to be running the trap. Anyways, there was I think one maybe we saw. It was near Outpost. We were fighting them on the hills and stuff.
Yeah.
There was just that one hunter who just happened to run Trapper. So as far as we know, we didn't see it, but from what Baggins said,
when she had it, we saw it.
I didn't see it. Well, I mean, I got hit by it, but I didn't notice being rooted twice. Maybe I had the CC rune, that's why I didn't notice. I don't know. But as far as I know, I didn't really notice it. But if that is true, and it sounded like it's true, that's very unfortunate, because again, that was a very frustrating thing that we were very glad was supposedly supposed to be dealt with. And again, coming with that, there was balance changes. There was, some buffs, some nerfs. Well, quite a few nerfs, because there was a lot of nerfs that were needed. But yes, so one of the buffs though was the Arbalest. The Arbalest has always kind of been the crossbow's awkward brother. Why would you bother to run the Arbalest when you could just run the crossbow, have the damage peel, the damage boost, and it's like it shot faster and everything. So they gave it a buff. They said, "Oh, we're gonna up the damage because it's not really tempting otherwise because the damage is probably equal to like what the crossbow was, even though the crossbow got nerfed. It's equal to what the crossbow did, and the crossbow was just you could actively do more with the crossbow. So they buffed it, and it's like okay, everyone's like okay, fine, that's perfectly fine. It needed a buff. It needs to be more tempting for people to actually want to run it. However, unfortunately, what Baggins pointed out, and which maybe I could, if I look back on it, I could guess I can kind of see. I could guess I could kind of feel it if I was really paying attention. Me and Spiral, we both use the Arbalest a lot. Right, Spiral?
Especially now, yeah. Because I've been running Thunderstruck all season.
Well, I mean, I ran Arbalest even before the update. Like, I liked using the Arbalest every once in a while. But like even Spiral, who loves to play in the mage, she's like, oh no, let me hop back on the hunter because the Arbalest was disgusting. I actually, when we first started the patch, I got a hold of an Arbalest saying, ooh, an Arbalest, I need a ranged weapon. Okay, I got the Arbalest. And when I picked it up and I used it, I went on straight out and told him, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. How much damage this is doing. It did so much damage, it was ridiculous. And he didn't believe me until he switched over to Hunter or until he picked one up, one or the other.
No, I switched because I thought it was Thunderstruck because obviously that increases your damage. And I'm like, nah, you're imagining things. It's just Thunderstruck doing the damage. But after I switched, obviously there's no Thunderstruck to influence the numbers, and it's like, oh yeah, shit, this is actually like pretty strong now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then that's when he said. Then that's when he agreed. Oh yeah, this is off. This is while it's amazing for you, awful for everyone else. So if that's the case, I'm a little sad because like if it's so much of a problem for someone like Baggins to be pointing it out, that's not good. However, I really feel that there's a, because he mentions it too in the video, that the real problem is probably like the secondary issue of it being that there's seemingly a bug with the fire rate, making the fire rate much closer to the crossbow than it was meant to be. Because it's meant to be a really slow but powerful bolt weapon. So maybe if they're able to fix that like quickly, maybe that won't be an issue and we won't have to see the Arbalest like completely reverted. Because again, even as someone who ran the Arbalest, who thought, hey, I could do stuff with it, it did feel pretty lackluster when you had other faster weapons that dealt almost as much damage, and if you really, really wanted something for range that was slow, there was still the sniper, so... I mean, anything to add before we kind of wrap up basically recapping the video?
I mean, now, obviously, because he said it in the video as well, like, the issue's compounded because it's got a faster fire rate bug, and because the double trap is still working, double trap with the Arbalest fire rate, it's just an insta-kill. You've lost.
My biggest problem with the Arbalest is the insane amount of damage, because if you run the perk on the Arbalest with the Hunter, you deal about 980 damage with a gold Arbalest, which means you can kill somebody you do in only 3 shots.
You do like 1100, Nikki, with a headshot. If you get a clean headshot on someone with the talent, you do like 1100 with the after the damage
that's
boost.
Even worse. Like that kind of damage for any weapon in a game like this.
No, the sniper does that. Well, the sniper does that at base. If you get a headshot with the sniper, it does like 1500.
I mean, it's fine if it. I mean, Nucky, the thing is, that's fine if it was firing at its normal fire rate, but it's not. And with the fact that it's the hunter's weapon, and a hunter can run trapper and double lock you because the bug is still in effect, it doesn't matter what it could be doing like less damage, but you're still insta-killed because they can easily aim for your head while you're locked. And being that you're going to get locked twice, you just can't move for 2 seconds. That's 2 headshots. You're dead anyway. Even if they reduce the damage, it doesn't matter because of like the amount of
other
fire rate
things. It's
got
because of other
and the
things, yeah.
trapper. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so this video is more or less because I want to make it. Squirrel joins me and Nuki's here too, but I want to make it to say, you know, I don't want to put pressure on the developers because it's not their fault. It's not fair to put so much pressure on them because, this is high res. Let's be real here. The issue is because of high res, not the developers. But I will say to developers, if it's possible to please either if it's easier, just revert the Arbalest. The Arbalest was okay enough that it could still be used from before. Either revert the Arbalest, or if you can, please at least fix the fire rate, and we can go from there. And as far as the Trapper is concerned, just remove the Trapper ability. Just remove it. Obviously, hopefully you have something you can quickly put in there to replace it. But for right now, for what it is, just remove that. What I thought of, basically, I'm pretty sure this is what I did before because it used to deal damage. But bring back the double ability, the doubling talent, where when you launch the trap, it's just doubly effective, meaning you just double the slow. Right now, the thing is a 50% slow. Obviously, you can't double a 50% slow because then it's a root. But maybe tweak the Trapper, the ability down to 45% and say, oh, this thing doubles your Trapper slow. Make it up to 90. 90% is a lot of slow, but it's still no root. It's still no root, and anyone with CC rune or anyone who just uses their movement instantly gets away. The problem with Trapper is, even when you're using your movement ability, they got you.
And they got you forever because it's currently a double root.
Yeah, so if that's possible, do that. Otherwise, please just get rid of it. Even if it sucks for the hunter that, oh my god, they're missing a talent, for right now, just disable it. Because I don't want it to be such a problem that more people other than Baggins, which I imagine there's more people, but even worse, even more so worse for newer people who are being abused by that and feel like it's that much more unfair to them. Because even experienced people, even though they think it's frustrating, obviously it's not good for them either, for us, or anybody. But to an extent, we can kind of work around it if we know it's coming. Like there's some more thought in there if we know it's coming. So, again, I just really want the game to do well. I hope the game keeps moving forward really well. And, of course, it doesn't... Everything comes to an end eventually, but I don't feel like its realm deserves to end right now. And, yeah, like I said, just hope the developers keep chugging along, and hopefully they just pay attention and are willing to try and do something. But, anything else from Mooseboro?
Well, obviously the other one, I didn't know if you wanted to put it into this video about, the stagnation of the areas we're crossing. And
oh no, that could easily be for another video.
All right, that's it.
I mean, any little thing maybe from Nuki, because there is one other thing I'm gonna do for this to kind of like make the video a bit longer, but that's just for fun more or less. But anything else you want to see, Nuki? You remember your push it talk, Nuki.
It's a fun game that could have great potential if it had a bit more attention to it and a few small tweaks here and there. But more than anything, what I want to close this off with is bring back the engineer.
Well, I mean, again, getting back to that. So, again, if you're still here, you could probably end the video here. If you're watching, no big deal to me, but I just want to add this in just to kind of end on a happier note. And of course, for the developers, just like in my other videos, here's some more ideas for you, and I'm more than happy to give you ideas. So this idea is a new class again. So Nuki class. This is the sailor class, or as a pun on the maybe as a little bit of a pun on the engineer, maybe just being a little mean to the people who want the engineer, because unfortunately, I really don't feel like the engineer is coming back. But the name being Buccaneer, the Buccaneer class, so you don't get no engineer, but you get the Buccaneer.
Dude, do you know how many people would like just say, no, you wanna, that is a bad idea. I mean, like, you might have some good ideas for him, but if you're like spiting people by being like, oh, it's not the engineer, it's the Buccaneer, like, people will just be like, oh, you think it's funny? Like, haha, like a clown? Well, see how much of a clown you are when I uninstall the game. Like, that, just call him the pirate. If you try and like take the piss and be like, oh, you wanted the engineer, we thought you said the Buccaneer, you will just make people real salty. You do not want that shit.
Okay, well, like I said, just to move this forward, because I did just want to end this on like on a fun note. So let me just run through the thing really quickly. So his probably most favorite weapon will probably be this, the dredge gun. Dredge's gun. Bouncing bombs. Not like the puncture launcher, like they'll have to actually touch you to explode, but or they'll bounce twice and then, you know, explode on their own. Otherwise, they have to directly hit you and aren't guaranteed to explode right off the bat. Dredge's gun. If you don't know who Dredge is, Paladin's person, look him up. I'm not here to completely explain Dredge for you. I'm sorry. The next one, which I think is a bit of a wilder thing. I don't know if they'll be able to make it work, especially not with a lot fewer people on the team, seemingly, because I feel like this might have to be like its own hurdle within itself. In my other video, I brought up Makoa's anchor spore, remember?
Yeah.
How about instead of being this big old ability that is meant to, you know, like heavily affect people, how about anchor on a chain? It would be his weapon, and it won't have ammo. It'll just be them swinging the anchor back and forth for cleaving damage.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, now that he's in the game, he's a new character. You could add a throwing weapon of Tiberius's chakra.
Well, wait, I'm not done yet. Shh. And then his last weapon, because remember they need 3 weapons. His last weapon would be throwing knives. Or throwing daggers. Because again, he's supposed to be a buccaneer, sailor. Right? So that makes sense. Yeah. He would have throwing knives on him, right? Or at least a knife, something. Obviously, those would have ammo. But... as far as talents for them, Dredge Gun. I know you're not gonna like this, but when you reload, you get a free shot.
No, I'm not gonna comment on that. I already get mad at Dredge for that shit.
Anchor on a chain. You have your anchor now has lifesteal. How about that, bro? Like 20% lifesteal. It's a really slow weapon. Like imagine a sword, but slightly slower than a sword still.
Yeah. That's fine.
I mean, that seems like a nice enough talent, right?
Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I was gonna say, and then the last one, throwing knives. Your knives now pierce shields and deployables. I mean, they're not heavy. They're not really heavy damage. They might be like 250 a knife. You're gonna throw them really fast, like pretty fast, but you know. Obviously, they won't have damage fall off or anything. They'll just be like straight throwing knife. They'll have like a range limit. Like they'll just like out of existence or something after a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the weapons. Just again trying to do this quickly. I don't want to spend too much time on this. It's just for fun. His ability, number 1, blinding shot. You pretty self-explanatory. You see black. And that's it for like a few seconds.
What do you think, note, I would say maybe add a flashbang like grenade.
That was already in the other video, Nuki. You missed that. Plug in other videos, guys. Don't forget, other videos are there. Please watch.
Yeah.
Then we have depth charge. He lights a keg, which you can't move, but it explodes after like 2.5 seconds, and it does like 1,000 damage. It hits you. It's bro.
I don't know, because
you're just gonna drop it there on the floor, and yeah.
I mean, it depends what the blast radius is, because if you're gonna,
it wouldn't be like like a nuke, but in I don't know what to compare it to in Realm. Imagine like at least a poppy bomb size explosion.
Yeah, so about as big as the glowing circle around the forge.
Maybe a bit bigger than that, but like around that size.
Yeah.
Like it would have to be decently big to be a threat, or else you're gonna have to like hold someone in there. It would have a bit of damage fall off near the edge, but you're gonna really want to hit people for like that 1,000+ damage, bro.
One thing, and it's not to do with the character, but like in terms of damage, can we give the chickens some more damage? Because like, even though they can peck, like 75 is
well, the dash does 400.
Can we take the peck up to like around 100?
I don't know about that, but again, moving on to the next one. The last thing, his last ability being, well, his last like support is what do they call it? Are they all called support abilities, right? No, they're all called offhand abilities. They're all called offhands. His last offhand ability, parrot calling. I don't feel like it makes sense for him to have a heal, so I didn't give him a healing ability. But parrot calling, it's like a shout, but it reveals people in the immediate area. So I mean, not like the same distance as a shout. It'd obviously be a bit bigger than a shout, but
you know, something like the Fus Rodan from Skyrim.
So what do you think, Mitoporo?
I actually just thought of one off the top of my head when you said that, where like it'd be damage though, which doesn't work. But you know when Cassie says go SIGs and she like throws her bird forward.
Yeah, well, it was that was the idea, kind of like that.
Yeah, but I can imagine him throwing the bird at someone, like the bird attacks them.
Well, wait a minute, we'll see. So, as far as talents, blinding shot, because it's not meant to be a damage ability. It's meant to be the support ability. So, I mean, I kind of had trouble thinking about talent for this one.
Well, there you go. I'll give you the talent. The parrot attacks them, like it pecks them a couple of times.
How about people? Well, how about just that? People marked by blinding shot take an extra 20% damage. I mean, that's lazy. That's a little lazy, and we kind of don't want that anymore. But I mean, it's just a blinding shot. You know, it doesn't really stop them from doing anything else other than making them miss you. And people can miss you even when they see you anyways. So,
I mean, 20's fine because that comes back to Thunderstruck. Like 20's fine. If I get hit by Pincushion, I don't feel it. If I get hit by Thunderstruck, I'm getting melted because it's 30 instead of 20. Like 20's fine. It's when you got to deal with those sick 30s where you're like, oh no.
So there's that. Then for depth charge, very simple ability, very simple talent. You get a second depth charge.
A little idea that I had myself for an addition to the realm is around some places in the map, like the graveyard, you have little critters like the spiders.
Well, wait, Nuki.
And an idea that I had is maybe you could shoot these.
Nuki, we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
And they drop shards.
And then parrots calling the. Again, I don't want it to be a damage ability. I did think about making the parrot attack you or something if you get revealed, or like, Mm. But how about people revealed are also slowed? That seems a bit more fair. Like the parrot is kind of like annoying you, so he's slowing you down or something. Mr. Squirrel?
I mean, even if it's pecking you though, it'd just be like chicken pecking, so like 75 per shot. So it's
actually that might be a funnier ability name, a chicken calling. You have a fucking chicken on your shoulder instead.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, that could be another like I'll think about something for that. Let's just get back. So, any other little thing to say about the talents real quick before we move on? Because again, time is ticking.
No, that's fine. Were you gonna say like an actual chicken, like
no, I'll tell you if I think about it. That might be for the next video.
All right.
So, and then of course there's 2 movement abilities for every class. So, the first one I thought would be pretty obvious, grappling hook. Right? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could really get any more self-explanatory. The second one I had issue in my other video, again plugging other videos, please, other videos. We did mention maybe just giving speed boosts like sea legs or something. You call them sea legs, maybe. You just gave the ability to run. How about that? You just run really fast.
I mean, you know what else sea legs could do? Like, while we haven't discussed this yet, we were talking about changing the map around for another video, but just bear with me for a second. And making water slow you. So like there's a penalty for being in water. Sea legs removes that penalty, so you could go at normal speed.
Well, that's too niche. That's too niche. But
well, no. It still have like your normal thing, where it just has a little side effect that you don't get affected by water either.
Mm.
I don't know about that with the current map. There are only very few areas, like waterfall.
Yeah, but Nuki, that comes back to us. That comes back to us changing the map. Like, let's say they change the map to have a huge water-based area, then sea legs would have an extra use as well as its speed.
Yeah, just melt the snow area, turn it tropical. Make some kind of comment towards global warming.
Well, again, that's skin idea. We're not talking about that. That's like skin ideas. But so again, to finish off real quick with the talents, grappling hook talent. Your grappling hook can now hit people and deals damage and pulls them towards you. Again, that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Well,
yeah.
And of course the running talent, sea legs. Say sea legs. Again, for all you Victor mains out there, while you're running, you heal like 200 a second or something. Well.
Yeah.
For all you Victor mains out there. So, any other little things to say? But, again, just an idea. Any other things you guys want to say just to wrap it up real quick?
Nah, cause mine had to do it with map changes and stuff. But yeah, you want to save that for another one when we talk about crossing and lumber being only.
Anything else for Nookie, real quick?
No, I've said what I wanted to.
Okay. Well, again, thank you for everyone who's watching. Again, hopefully all of you fans of the realm out there are really enjoying the game, even though there are still some flaws, even though there's always been flaws. But it's a real game that we really like, and we really hope still has a future, at least for a good while. So, yeah, this has been me, Blame Others, and
me, Insane Spyro,
and Anuki.
And Princess Tanuki.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye boy.